Thanks for the support as a channel member, Shaz Danks. I'm going to say this quietly so the game doesn't hear, because I don't think it's realised what it's done. But with 10 games to go, we're kind of back in the title race. Do not tell the game. Hello and welcome to part 44 of Bourne Again. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games in the National League for you. We're away against Chorley and Telford. Again, we've got this silly situation. We've got 3 away games in a row, and then I think 3 home games in a row. Since you were last with me, though, we've been in very, very good form. Things would be looking even brighter if we hadn't had those couple of draws in there, because we are charging, not necessarily up the league, because I think everybody else is having similarly good form, but as of right now, up to 5th place, with a game in hand on the 3 teams above us, and we're only 6 points off the top of the league. 36 games played of a 46-game season. I don't think we still have to play Boston now, because I think we played them, I played them sleepily on my sofa last night on my laptop, and we beat them, which is lovely stuff. Clearly, when I'm tired and not really concentrating on the game, I'm better than when I'm trying. That's I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest, but we've got to win these 2 away games, and if we do, I think we can then loudly say the thing I didn't want to say too loudly beforehand, but 2 away games, always a little bit of a challenge, and this is the team we're putting out there to try and take that challenge on. We're going with Anang in goal because we all love him. Mark Sheffield, Bedwell, Dorset and Shaw Sainsbury as our back four. Sheedy, Broadbent, Mundell and Sarti in midfield, and Quinn and Bond up front. Sheedy has been kind of shoehorned into the team on this left-hand side. I like him a lot. As you can see, I like him more when I'm concentrating and playing him as a striker. When I'm not really concentrating and I've got him on the wing, not so much, but he's lovely as a striker. So because of that, I'll play him on the wing. Kev logic. Our two, Quinn and Bond, are very good. I can't just... someone did say, why don't you just do a 4-3-3, Kev? It is a very good point. My response to that is because then we lose our good wingers, but then I guess I'm not playing Bradshaw today to stick Sheedy out on the wing, and Sarti hasn't been the same player since coming back that he was before we went to Sheffield Wednesday. So there probably is an argument we could switch to a 4-3-3. My counter argument at the moment is we're unbeaten in like 8 games and suddenly back in the thing I don't want to mention. We're back in a race that I'm not going to specify what the race is. So why change that while it's all of a sudden working again? Obviously, if we lose both of these matches, it's something to consider for the playoffs, because losing either of these matches really is going to consign us to the playoffs, because Boston aren't going to drop too many points, and we need to really try and put that pressure on. And if we can get into the final couple of games of the season and still be in with a chance, bearing in mind where we were an episode or 2 back, I think that would be a fantastic performance. Quinn, with an effort from just on the edge of the area, got himself into a good position, but couldn't quite... didn't really test the keeper. Sheedy with the free kick. It's a lovely free kick as well. Perfectly positioned to tease the strikers and annoy the defenders, and it does ultimately lead to a goal, and it's Sean Bedwell's first goal for the club. It caused chaos, that free kick. It was so well hit, just flying in this little danger area here. Sheedy is a good set-piece taker. He's not quite Marlon Pack territory, but he can hit a good set piece, which is another argument for having him in the team, regardless of whether he's in his best position and we're getting the best out of him or not. Similar to what I was saying with the lad last year, whose name I've already forgotten. If Quinn doesn't come back, I have no qualms with playing Sheedy up alongside Bond next year, because I think as a support striker or a winger, or even like an attacking midfielder, just as someone there to create for the players ahead of him, I think he's a lovely option. Sheedy now with a lovely corner. What a corner it was from Sheedy, and Quinn gets his 21st goal of the season. I said Sheedy's not quite Pack quality when it comes to the free kicks and the set pieces, but I tell you what, boys and girls, he's hit 2 absolute beauties for us so far today, and we're 2-0 up directly because of his set-piece delivery. It's like it's last season all over again. We're doing set pieces, we're collecting yellow cards. It's lovely. And now we've got another free kick. Sheedy floats it in again. It's another very good one. And it's offside. Bedwell and Quinn causing absolute havoc in there again from these free kicks. I think it's Bond who actually put it over the line in the end, but Bedwell's offside. Okay, Bedwell applies the finish. What a numbskull. You can tell he's a left back. If he'd have just left that alone and let it go in, which it was going to do, I think that's a goal for Bond and we're 3-0 up and home and dry, but 'twas not to be. Boston, are Boston playing now? Boston are drawing 0-0 away against Hartlepool. Or as I used to say as a child, before I was corrected, Hartlepool. Because to me, that's obviously how it's pronounced. Because that's how you pronounce that combination of letters. But apparently it's not Hartlepool, which I've never really accepted, even as an adult who's heard it be said for many, many years. But they're drawing away against Hartlepool. And we are, 4 points behind them at the moment. This is... I mean, it's starting to look tasty, isn't it? If Hartlepool can, imagine if they can grab a goal, we'd be only 3 points behind Boston. I'm so excited, I can't get my words out. Sarti with the cross, Quinn is there, and it goes just over from the effort from Jacob Quinn. And the one player not really doing his bit today is Bond, although I think things would have been a little bit different if Bedwell hadn't been goal hanging and nicked his goal. I think if he gets a goal on there, all of a sudden he gets an extra 1.5 points on his match rating, because that's how Football Manager works. Some scrappy defending there, but Anang, being the excellent goalkeeper that we all know he is, keeps hold of it and it was never really in danger. We're going to take off Bond and bring on Bradshaw so that we can stick Sheedy up front as the false nine supporting Quinn. And it's something we've done a few times now, and it is pretty effective. We're also going to bring Dootson on and stick Bedwell out to left back. Positional changes as part of substitutions as well. This is when you know you've got a few players who are your favourites, when you just move them around the team to keep them on the pitch. We have still got Cotton on the bench, who tends to play as a target man, or he can play out on that right wing. In fact, Sarti is tiring, so we'll stick Cotton on the right wing. He's not hugely effective as a winger. I tend to bring him on late on in the games just to hit long balls at him if we need to. Bradshaw, why is Bradshaw taking the free kick now when we've seen just how dangerous Sheedy is? I don't believe Bradshaw's any better, but I guess Sheedy now wants to get involved in the middle. The silly bear. But we have held on. It's been a comfortable 2-0 win, and I think Hartlepool did us a favour with Boston as well. So we're going to call that a good win. We're just going to check that Boston didn't manage to score a late goal against Hartlepool. And if that's the case, the gap is down to 4. Yes, we're still down in 5th place, but remember that game in hand, which could, if we win, will put us up to 3rd. And then we're right up there in the mix with Boston and Port Vale. It's going to be a very tight and exciting run-in, boys and girls. That is if we can win this next game as well, which is against Telford, and we need to rest the players before we go and play it. And then we'll hopefully grab a second win and march towards something I'm still not ready to openly say. Right, no changes for the Telford game. We played very well in that last game, so I don't see why we would change anything. So let's get out there and hopefully have a repeat performance. I haven't actually checked. I don't know if this is our game in hand. It might well be. Pick up where you left off last time out, because we played very well. It's not our game in hand. So Boston today are playing... Oh, actually, it might be our game in hand on Boston. Yeah, so Boston aren't playing. So as it stands right now, Port Vale are actually top of the league. So we could come within 1 point of Boston if we win this game, but they'd then have a game in hand on us. But you all know by now my theory on rather having points than games in hand. It's especially when you've kind of given away a massive lead. Boston were way ahead just an episode or two ago, so they're going to be having a few morale issues there, and to see themselves not top of the league is quite a significant morale hit, I think. So I would definitely rather have the points than the games at this stage. Sheedy plays it across to Sarti. Sarti can't quite get the header goalwards, but Shaw Sainsbury's managed to keep it in. Can he get the crossover? Finds Sarti, in fact. Sarti will cross it. Quinn and Sheedy, neither of them know who's going for it. Mark Sheffel across to Broadbent. Broadbent finds Sarti. Can he cross? He can. He finds Sheedy, and it's unfortunately at head height, so he had to nut it towards the goal. Shaw Sainsbury plays it into Sarti. Sarti has a shot. What a goal from Claudio Sarti. It was only in the last match that I said he's not quite been the same player since coming back. That is the Sarti I remember from before his big money move to Sheffield Wednesday. That was a stunning goal. It's just ridiculous. He's not even... I mean, that shouldn't be possible. What a goal that is. And what a league table that looks like at the moment. 38 games, well, not quite 38 played, but if everything ended as it is, 38 played, 2 points off top of the table, Port Vale, 1 point behind Boston in second place, who do have a game in hand on us, but they're in poor form. So whether they'll win that game in hand is obviously a big if. If it ends, what a goal from Quinn. 2-0 up, 23 minutes. We've had two absolute screamers today. The first match, we were doing things non-league style, capitalising on good set pieces and just being efficient. This match seems to be a story of just individual brilliance, because this is another fantastic goal from Quinn. And if Sheffield Wednesday are watching, they're going to be quite pleased with what's happening here, because this is two players on loan to us from Sheffield Wednesday. Sarti, of course, started with us and then went there. Quinn has been on loan from there to us for the last couple of years. But Sheffield Wednesday look like they've got a couple of individual talents there, if they could only figure out how to use them. And hopefully they won't, because we want them as part of our team, because they're lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I think we have to say, don't we, that we are now back in a title race that we did not expect to be in. Never say never, boys and girls. Because if you go on a 10-game unbeaten run, it has quite an impact on the league. And that's exactly what we're in the middle of. We've hit fantastic form, just as our local rivals Boston have started to bottle it. The wild card that I'm not really happy about them being involved is Port Vale, because I don't remember even mentioning Port Vale throughout the rest of the season. Telford have got a goal back here, and we need to make sure we're not counting our chickens, because if we don't win this game, then... I know it's only a 2-point difference, but those 2 points feel massive at this point. I think 2 points, being 3 points behind Boston with them having a game in hand, feels a lot harder to climb past than the gap that we've got there at the moment. So we do need to cling on, and we do need to come out of this game with a victory. Sheedy's not had the best of games today, so we're going to take him off and bring on Bradshaw. We are going to bring... I want to get Dootson on at the back as usual. There is an argument for going 3 at the back, because I want to get Dootson involved more. He's our record signing. I do like him, but Bedwell is too good not to play. Mark Sheffield's a better left back than Bedwell, and Dorset's really good as the covering centre back, and no one else can really do that role. So I've kind of forced myself into not being able to start Dootson, then bringing him off the bench every game, which it just seems like a waste of a substitution, changing his centre backs. But Dootson is hovering over the ball now, plays it forward to Sarti. Can we have another moment of brilliance from you, please, Claudio? Broadbent plays it back to Sarti, and there's Bond, and there's goal number 19 of the season for him. And it's been a little while, certainly in a video, since we've had Bond and Quinn score in the same game, but they have scored, both of them today. It's not quite individual brilliance this time, but it's a good nod down from Sarti, and a difficult finish from a tight angle for Bond, but does squeeze it underneath the goalkeeper. And I think we're ready to make our final change, and we're just going to have a look at Sarti's tiring again, so we're going to bring Cotton on that right hand side. Sarti he's not long recovered from an injury that kept him out for a little while, and I think the whole midfield is seemingly getting very tired very quickly in these matches. But it doesn't matter, because as long as we keep winning them, I don't care how tired everybody gets. That league table should give us energy and excitement and vigour. Is vigour the right word to use there? Thankfully, very few people make it to the end of episodes, so no one will be able to criticise me for vigour if it's not the right word. Excellent performance from Sarti, and now we can have a look at that league table. We are back in this. We are absolutely back in this. And the really exciting thing for fans of the National League is that we're not the only ones. There are still 6 teams, realistically, that could win automatic promotion. And then you've got this little pack here led by Gillingham chasing for 7th place to try and get the last playoff spot. There's still 10 teams in this division, all the way down to Morecambe, I think, that could realistically still be aiming to get promoted this season. And that's with 8 games to go. That is the mark of an exciting division, which is, I guess, a thing to say in favour of these 16 playoffs. But we just need to keep winning now. keep this run of form going that's been going a good long time now, and we'll come back maybe for the last couple of games of the season, or we might do the last 4 as like I won't do 4 games in an episode, but perhaps we'll do 2 episodes to finish the season off. It depends. I mean, if we lose the next 3, then I'll just do the last couple of games in the playoffs. But if it looks like we could win the league, we might come back for the last 4. We'll play it by ear. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.